Oh my God, it's the Tim Report. Come on, little nigga, share your ideas. Welcome back to the Tim Report. Freedom of speech. We've all heard about it, but what is it actually? Doing the Tim Report has really opened my eyes to how many people out there really care about the issue of free speech.
Donald J. Trump is now President of the United States. President Obama is the ex-president. And Mr. Trump, for the moment, steps away for the inaugural address. What a great honor to be able to introduce for the first time ever anywhere the 45th
Free speech is what it's all about, and that's what this is the central zone of. Free speech, ground zero. But there's an assault on free speech from the left.
So sorry to my world. I am so sorry to my world. This is not what we want.
Of which I am also a part, but not the bad part. I'm part of the good part of the left. The real part. This assault shuts down rational conversation.
Pigs in a blanket! Fry like bacon!
One of the chants heard from protesters is being called disgusting by rank-and-file St. Paul police officers.
It shuts down everything by saying you're a bigot, you're a racist, oh my God, you're such a fascist, you're Nazi. Oh, everything is a Nazi, you're a Nazi, this is a Nazi, that guy's a Nazi. That's what they try to do, and it's really quite mean, to be perfectly honest. That's right, just for saying your beliefs, they'll call you a racist and they will call you a Nazi.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice. Like, you was there for 400 years and it's all of y'all? You know, like...
Whoopie-dee-scoop, scoop-dee-dee-whoop. Whoop-de-scoop-de-poop.
That's right, just for expressing your beliefs, they will call you a racist and they will call you a Nazi in an attempt to shut you down in a kind of censorship. That's why I call this area of the left the regressive left. You see, these leftists call themselves progressive, but they're really just regressive. Regressive means going backwards, and progressive means going forward. So it's kind of like a play on words, little mix up there with the word to make it going like the opposite way, because that's the way I see them. They're actually going backwards to like the Nazis, because the Nazis that's old. The left has taken to meaningless name calling of others because they don't have arguments. They'll say, you're a racist, you're a fascist. Racist and fascist are so watered down that they mean nothing now. The ironic thing about it all is that the left are the real racists, because they don't like people with different skin color than white saying that it's okay to be free speech loving. And they're the real fascists because they beat people up and they use fascist tactics just like the fascists. And only real racists and fascists would call people meaningless things like racist and fascist. Regressives. And now you can't say anything in a university, like forget about it, no facts.
Facts don't care about your feelings.
Somebody will get triggered.
They're wafting up their farts and their cheese doodle fingers and like an open letter to Jennifer Lopez. Let me pause and just jerk off in my shirt real quick here.
And they get triggered. They have to go into their safe space.
My safe space.
So that nobody is mansplaining.
Mansplaining.
Patriarchy, which is another thing that triggers them, and they're like snowflakes and stuff. And that's why the left's so regressive. They're so sensitive. They can't take offensive jokes. And then they call you racist. And that's just really hurtful. So all of this stuff together is kind of like free speech kind of thing. So I say, turn it around on them. Talk to your friends about the Tim Report. Tell them, hey, I have free speech. Don't call me a racist. Don't say I'm transphobic. That's mean. Don't do that. And that's the Direct Tim message. Today's guest is an activist, an intellectual, an academic, a free thinker, an iconoclast, a person of great repute, a scientist, and somebody who knows all about free speech, which is what we are talking about today. I'm talking to the incredibly funny Free Speech McGee. Hello. This is the motherfucking sit down, the way we want the future to be. G'day. No problem. So, Free Speech McGee, that's an interesting sounding name. Is that your real name or show name? Yep, that's my real name, Free Speech McGee. That's how I was born. It's just my name. So yeah, that's it. Nothing else to that. Alright, what a story. So from what I understand, you were originally a teacher at a high school, and that's how you got started down this path of free speech. And I think it's a really interesting origin story. What happened there at the high school? So it's quite an interesting story, actually. I am a high school teacher. I'm teaching history, and I'm all about just facts. Facts is sort of what I'm all about. And so I teach here in Australia. You can see here, just got a little prop here. This little Australia is what it says there. I was teaching a lesson about Genghis Khan, saying all the facts about Genghis Khan, and then I said, the side of my breath, you know, of course there was 2 genders back then. And a student was confused, like, what do you mean there was 2 genders back then? You know, how many genders are there now? And I said, well, now there's 2. Still, there's only 2 genders. That's a fact. And the students were shocked. And that's how my whole story started. Just saying the facts. 2 genders, that's it. That's all there is. But so you were fired for saying all these things. I was just given a strongly worded letter. And I took to Twitter to complain about that. But no, I'm still there. That doesn't sound very... You know, actually, could we just stop filming for a second? Okay, we've had a little talk about this situation. You want to tell me again what was happening with the high school? So it was basically like they were threatening me, and pretty sure, 100% sure, they're gonna fire me, and they berated me a lot. They called me a bigot. They said, that sounds so intolerant. It sounds really terrible that your life's on the line from that. Just because of free speech.
Sure.
And that's shocking, you know. The fact that the left would do that kind of thing is sickening. And they hate that free speech. Right. That's what happened. Yep. That's why I have you on. The regressive left doesn't want the story told. So tell me what else happened from there. Like, how did it snowball? How did it grow into this, you could argue, international phenomena? Well, it really did grow into something incredible, because after I said there was only 2 genders, students were coming up to me asking me all these questions. They were basically like, so you've broken out of this mold, mate. You've taken this point of view which is so apart from the norm, but it's facts. It's science. Why is there only 2 genders? And I said, mate, because facts don't care about your feelings. And they were like, what? What the hell? Is this guy... Facts don't care about my feelings. Did you come up with that? I said, yep, I came up with all that myself. Don't be a snowflake. And they were like, whoa, a snowflake? What's that? And I said, you know, because, like, snowflake is like people who's, like, offended. And they're like, whoa, dude, this guy is amazing. Today, science is controversial. So I talked to the whole people at the school, and I went in there. They said, what is going on with this 2 genders thing and the snowflake thing we've been hearing about? That's some pretty radical speech. It's pretty intense. It's pretty in your face. It's pretty raw. And that's amazing. But this is a high school, you know? We can't be so awesome like that. And I said, don't be so triggered. And they were like, whoa, holy cow. You know what? That is so clever. I was like, yep. Came up with it myself. Is this room a safe space? And they're like, whoa, this guy is so original and he's just so many good thoughts. So then they basically gave me a huge amount of money, and they sent me on a speaking tour because there was a lot of interest from around the world, all kinds. For some reason, conservative think tanks were kind of getting into it, and the right has really taken a shining to it, but the left doesn't like me because I'm too raw, I'm too offensive. You know, I just say there's only 2 genders, and they don't like that. And I think my story really stands out because it's just so unique. It's science. But you know what I mean? Like, facts and stuff is suddenly illegal. And you know, at the end of the day, there only is 2 genders. Ever. And there only ever will be 2 genders because that's facts. It's called science. You know, I don't even get invited to universities. Me. And I got so much to say about all of these things. And that they won't have me there. For some reason, only conservative groups will invite me. I don't know why. I'm on the left. I am like a liberal or whatever. You know, I'm just one of those liberals who believes in small government and cutting regulations and that the government shouldn't be involved in anything. One of those liberals. I feel the same. I'm very hardly on the left, but then I always get put into this conservative box. And I'll elaborate more in my upcoming book, 12 Rules for Destructing Triggered Snowflakes. You know, thanks for coming on so much. It's been a really interesting, intellectually superior, fascinating conversation. I'm selling vitamins. I'm doing meditation lessons. I am talking about all of the classical philosophies. And I've got my stand-up comedy tour. And you can hear about this all in my lecture series. And I'm trying to do a university tour. But the Antifas, which are the lefty people, they are like, oh, we're too triggered or something. And from what I understand, we've got a clip of your stand-up comedy. Your special is gonna be on Netflix soon, is that right? Check it out on my website, freespeechmcgee.com, which is also a news website. Lots of articles, lots of reporting. Nice. So let's watch some of this freedom-inspired free speech comedy. Hello there, hello there. What a crowd. Really great crowd here. Fantastic crowd. Look at you, look at you. Fantastic. So, wow. It's amazing that you would come to a speech like this. What are you, comedy? Are you a bigot? All of these people who think for themselves and think lots of smart things. You're just a bunch of racists to everybody, aren't you? So, what a crowd here. What a crowd. Gonna do a little bit of audience work here. Anyone here straight? Oh, I've got some straight here. Oh, you're straight. How about you? You're straight too. So, what are all these sexists doing here? All these sexist people. How about this? Anybody white? Is there any white people? Oh, you don't want to... You don't admit that? Got some white people here. Oh, what the media would call you is a racist. Just a bunch, yep. Racists there. How about this? Any gays? Any gay people? You know, the funny thing about gay is that it used to be happy. But these days, anyone is gay. You could be gay. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I didn't just out you, did I? Oh. Okay, any trans people? I don't even know what a trans is. Is a trans like a tram? I don't trust anything that I can't ride. But maybe I can ride a trans if it's like a tram. You get it? Alright. Now, yeah, I've done my crowd work. Anyone else here? Any... No, okay. I gotta do some material. No, okay. What else can I ask here? Okay, so... Comedy. You know? No. So, do you think this is a safe space? Is this a safe space? No, this is a place where I can say anything I want. Ooh, you're a bit scared now, aren't you? Bit scared. I will say all kinds of offensive things. Ooh. Better go to the exits. Better go away to the exits, because it's not a safe space. You're gonna get triggered. Isn't triggered a funny word? Oh, I was in tears. That was the funniest thing I think I've ever seen. Thanks, mate. So good, eh? That's comedy. Yep. You know, I would do comedy, but I just think the whole talking thing is really more my style. I'm so good at it. I've got the comedy covered for you, mate. Pretty funny, eh? So thank you so much for joining us. anytime. I'm
Thank
not
you.
that busy, really. Excellent job. That is the Tim Report. Fighters for freedom. Assemble. You know, like the Avengers. Thank you.